I spent 9 years in investment banking, qualified as a chartered accountant, and studied finance at university. And through all of that time, the most common question I got asked is, am I on the right track to reach financial freedom? So in this video, I thought it would be interesting to pull back the curtain on the top 3 habits I see time and time again that stop people from reaching financial freedom. And more importantly, what you can do to make sure you're not one of those people. Let's get into it, starting with the very first one, which is not defining what it means to you. This is the biggest mistake I see people make, and I made it for a very long time. And let me tell you, if you don't know what financial freedom means to you, specifically to you, you will never reach it. Because the reality is most people have this vague idea that financial freedom means having loads of money or being really rich, but that's not specific enough. Without a clear target, you're basically shooting arrows in the dark. So for me, financial freedom 4 years ago, when I was still in my day job, it was very, very specific. I wanted to earn a few $1,000s or pounds a month, enough to cover my core living expenses, not holidays, not new clothes, not fancy dinners, just my basic bills, because that would give me the ability to pursue work that I actually wanted to do without worrying about how I was going to pay for my life. So for me, financial freedom meant taking off these golden handcuffs that had me chained to my banking job. It wasn't about getting a Lamborghini or getting a mansion. It was just about having the option to say no to work that wasn't intellectually stimulating and was just draining my soul. But at the same time, that was my definition. I knew people, or I was working with people in my wider team working at the same bank who had completely different definitions. Some wanted to send their kids to private schools without worrying about the fees. Others wanted to buy a house or eventually pay off the mortgage on the house so that they didn't have to worry about it. One of my colleagues just wanted to take a few extra years out after they had a kid. Everyone has a different version of financial freedom. And if you don't take the time to figure out what yours actually looks like, you're always going to feel like something is missing. You'll reach certain milestones and you'll think, now what? Because you've never defined what you are actually working towards. I've been there. I've been on the cycle where I was constantly chasing the next thing. And I see it amongst so many other people who hit their saving goals and then immediately move the goalpost. They want to save X amount, they reach it. And instead of feeling accomplished and moving on to something else, they think, well, now I need Y. Or they get the promotion that they thought they always wanted, but they still feel unfulfilled because the promotion was never really what they were after. So a really simple exercise to do that I did, and I mentioned it in one of my early videos as well, write down what a typical day would look like if money wasn't a factor. What kind of work would you do? Where would you live? Who would you be around? Who would you be spending your time with? How would you feel at the end of each day? Just doing this for me gave me complete clarity about what I actually valued. And that's why I'm saying this, because it is so clear that the very first step is to gain clarity on what's driving you and what you need to achieve your specific definition of financial freedom. Because once you know exactly what you're working towards, every financial decision you make from there on becomes so much easier. You'll know whether that money decision gets you closer to your goal or just further away from it. Number 2, playing it safe with money and getting stuck in the middle. So now you know what you're aiming for. What do you actually do to get there? It comes down to mastering 4 skills, and each one pretty much builds on the other. So skill number 1 is earning money. This sounds obvious, but you need to earn enough to not just survive, but to have something left over. If 100% of your income goes to your spending and your expenses, you'll never move past this step. This might mean developing new skills. It might mean asking for a raise. It might mean starting a side hustle or finding ways to increase your value in the marketplace. The goal isn't just to earn money. It's to continue increasing your income in a way that's making sure you earn more than you need to live. Step 2 is saving that money. Once you're earning more than you spend, you need to actually save the difference. And this is where most people get stuck. They earn more money, but their lifestyle inflates to match their income. You get a raise so you can upgrade your car. You get a bonus so you can book a more expensive holiday. The key here, and absolutely key, is just paying yourself first. Automatically saving a percentage before you have a chance to spend it. When I finally started doing this, I'd get my paycheck and immediately move money to savings, then live off what was left. That was the thing that made the biggest difference in how much I was able to save each month. If you haven't done that, pause this video and just do it right now. Set up a direct debit from your main account to your savings account. And that savings account is something that you cannot touch. Step 3 is investing. This is where your money starts working for you instead of just sitting there doing nothing. So, because here's the thing, your saved money after your emergency fund, anything additional that you're saving needs to grow. And it needs to grow faster than inflation, or you're actually going backwards. If your inflation is 3% and your money is earning 1% in a savings account, you're losing purchasing power every single year. Where do you invest that money? It could be an index fund, it could be in real estate, it could be starting investing in a business, anything that generates returns over time. But the main thing is to just start, because keeping all your money in cash is actually the riskiest thing you can do long term, because inflation is guaranteed to eat away at your wealth. If you think about it, would you rather take a calculated risk with the potential for growth, or accept the certainty of losing money to inflation? Because those are your two options. The people who achieve real financial freedom understand that you can't save your way there. You have to invest your way there. By the way, if you want to learn how to create the path to financial freedom and invest in a way that gets you on the path to financial freedom, I'm launching a boot camp to walk you through everything step by step. It covers everything you need to know to get on the right track and to create a future that you are actually excited about. The waitlist is currently open. You can find out more information in the description below this video. And step 4 in this part, and it's one that most people forget, is knowing how to spend. There is no point being miserable on the journey to get to a happy destination, because I can guarantee that when you get to that happy destination, you'll realize the best part was actually the journey. You need to find balance that lets you enjoy life whilst you're building wealth. This doesn't mean blow your budget on things that don't matter. This means being really intentional about the things that you're spending on, because at no point is the goal to deprive yourself. The goal is to spend on what matters to you while still building your future. Because what's the point of financial freedom if you forget how to be free along the way? And honestly, if you can just master these 4 skills, you're well on the way to financial freedom. Well on the way. And number 3, staying in the learning phase for too long. The third habit that stops most people from reaching financial freedom is probably the most frustrating, because it's the one that keeps you stuck even when you know exactly what to do. You know you should start investing, but you're waiting for the market to be less volatile. You know you should start that side business, but you're waiting until you have more time. You know you should ask for that raise, but you're waiting until you feel more confident. You know you should cut your spending, but you're waiting until next month when things are less busy. Here's what I've learned the hard way. There is absolutely no perfect time to start something new. There never will be. The market will always feel uncertain. You'll never have enough free time. You'll never feel 100% confident. There will always be another excuse, another reason to wait, another perfect moment just around the corner. The habit of waiting for perfect conditions is what separates people who build wealth and reach financial freedom from the people who just talk about it. So if you've been in that phase, which I've been in for so long, stop scrolling through social media looking for the magic answer that's going to make everything easy. Stop watching endless YouTube videos about investing without actually opening up an investment account. Stop reading about the best ways to track your spending without actually just doing it. The difference between people who achieve financial freedom and the people who don't is very rarely the knowledge gap. It is the action gap. Your future self will thank you for taking imperfect action today rather than waiting for that perfect moment that never comes. That is it. So those are 3 habits that I see time and time again that stops people from building true wealth and getting on the path to financial freedom. If there's anything that you can do to make this YouTube video worth it, take the first step that you need to take based on what I've said today right after this video ends.